Hello all, my name is Gillard. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher and I have created the Shamanic Approach to Reiki and the Reiki Sound Healing courses. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the Reiki Sound Healing because it is a little bit different than the other courses that are out there. There are plenty of people that are combining Reiki with sound healing these days. So just wanted to tell you a little bit about why mine is a little bit different and why it might appeal to you to come and do this type of work with me. So I've been practicing Reiki for, at the time that I make this, about 20 years. But I began my training actually in the same week as a shamanic healer, learning shamanic drum healing and vocal sound healing. And shamanic journeying as part of those really early parts of my shamanic practice. And over the years, I've been combining those things. For the early years of my practice, I really was quite a purist about it and I really kept them separate. But the sound work was really the main bridge for me between the two practices. I also have a background in magical practice, and within that, over the years, as I became more of a senior figure in my traditions, I used to hold a lot of healing work and moving between energy healing work and shamanic work, and the use of voice in the way that we do in certain forms of magic that are indigenous to old traditions around all over Europe actually, and I've found these things in America as well. So we have a lot of places that have this inherent need to work with the voice when they're doing energy work, for healing work, for manifestation, as they call it these days, and magical workings. But one of the things that is fundamental to that is the work of a community operating together. And that's one of the really big differences between the way that I teach Reiki sound healing and some of the other more, I'm going to say traditional, but let's be honest, Azui wasn't working with a drum, but more traditional approaches to Reiki sound healing, like the Reiki drum technique, which I taught for a long time. It's very focused on being a practitioner, working in a way that is suitable to work in a therapy room, in a more clinical environment, I guess. And there's nothing wrong with that, and we certainly do talk about how to work individually one-to-one. But what we find in shamanic practice, and there is so much in Reiki that has these sort of shamanic animist echoes to it, there's so much to explore there, is that the bringing the community together to do the work is a really powerful part of how we all heal, those of us that are teachers and practitioners, as well as our clients. So over the weekend of Reiki sound healing, first of all, it's a mix of drumming work and voice work. It's all grounded in real practices. I am a trained Reiki drum master. I was one of the first group of people that qualified to teach that here in this country back in 2008, 2009, something like that. And so I have a lot of experience in how to connect with your drum and how to use Reiki and drumming together. But what I've found is if I slightly leave those things aside and bring in these shamanic ideas of a more intuitive, creative, flowing medicine, it really changed the flavour of the work. And it works one-to-one. A lot of us work with our clients. It works one-to-one with our clients, but it also allows us to open up a new way of working on ourselves, a new way of exploring our spirituality as healers. And it also opens up a way for us to work together as a community, for us to bring people's groups and families into the healing work together, ways for us to sing and raise energy together, to drum as a circle and raise that energy and create a shared healing intention together. All of those things are essential to some shamanic practice, and other than our regular Reiki empowerments and our Reiki shares, it's something that I've always found is maybe slightly missing in our work as Reiki people. So the weekend is a mix of drumming work, shamanic journeying, and Kotodama work. All of the voice work is grounded in traditional Reiki practice. It's for Reiki 2 and above, so you'll need a working understanding of the symbols, the 3 symbols at that level, and we'll build from there. But what it does is show us that any Reiki person who really sits and absorbs that energy can use that work effectively to be a sound healer as well, because they work perfectly together. And we don't need to have, this is how you start the treatment, this is how you work on the body, this is how you end the treatment. It doesn't need to be in that sort of confined way. What we can do, and what I really work to do in the shamanic, the Reiki Sound Healing weekend, is to allow the medicine to flow, to open ourselves up to creative, intuitive, visionary practice. That, yes, I will teach you how to use the drum on a client's body, and I will teach you how to work as a shamanic journeyer to bring back information and healing. These are ancient practices. And yes, I will teach you to work with the Kotodama, the ancient mantras that are part of Reiki that do come from Usui, in a much more magical and intuitive, energy building, energy raising kind of way, in a way that you can apply to hands-on work with your clients. But it will also really expand your understanding of the energy, and it will really expand what you're able to do in your practice with your Reiki community. Part of how we do deep soul level healing work in shamanism, and in the combination of Reiki and shamanism that I specialize in, is that we really try to call the community in to be part of it. And I think that that's an important practice for us as healers, one-to-one with our clients, our understanding of how they heal. But it's also essential for us as healers, and so that's a big part of what we do. We'll do group singing together. It's still quite a small group, you know, we still want to be intimate and be able to have this deep understanding and ask all our questions, but it will shake loose some of those inhibitions. Our practice as Reiki practitioners can be, you know, we need to be quiet, and we need to sort of operate in hand positions and in certain time constraints. One of the questions that I ask at the sound healing is, what if we didn't do it that way? What if we can be intuitive? What if we can journey, get visionary guidance, and then operate under that guidance? And what if we allowed the sound to come through us and be heard in whatever way the energy flows? What if we allowed ourselves to be vulnerable and let our intuitive work, that is so much part of Reiki, actually be seen and heard by our community, by our clients, and by our students? So it's a real space of freedom, experiment, and playtime. And there's extraordinary medicine in that. So if the sound healing and the intuitive practice calls to you, whether you think you can sing or not, I'm not interested in that. It's not music. It's energy work, which you can do. And whether you know how to play the drum or not, I'm not interested in that either. I'm not teaching rhythms here. I'll teach you a little bit about what science says about certain rhythms, but what we're going to learn is, how do you allow the drum to play itself? This is intuition. So I'd love to have you there. It's a full weekend. We do deep shamanic journeying, opening up that visionary work. We do drumming for ourselves, for the group, but also drumming on the body, and really learn how to be skillful and intuitive with that. And we also learn how to use the Kotodama for our own healing, for community healings, how to hold the energy of that a little bit in our body, how to work with the drum and Kotodama combined. So it's a really powerful weekend. You need to bring a drum if you have one. I like to work with the Remo Buffalo drums. They're just basic frame drums. But you don't necessarily need to use those. the fact is, any kind of drum will work, any rattle will work. People have brought singing bowls and tuning forks and chimes and all kinds of things to the work. So bring whatever you can. And I have some spare drums if you want to come along and you don't have anything like that, but we'll be connecting with our tools. So bring something that you can really connect with. This is how we begin to commit to our shamanic practice as Reiki people. So bring something that can connect you with using tools for the work and just be a bridge between the magic of sound and the magic of Reiki. And that's what we'll be doing. I really look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, give me a shout. Yeah, we'll do some playtime together as a group. The songs that we build in the weekend that you are there will have never been heard before, will never be heard again. It is pure intuitive magic created in the moment. This is proper shamanic medicine for Reiki people. I really look forward to seeing you on the Sound Healing Weekend.